What are some dumb hobbies that rich people do? Visit the Titanic wreck in a cheap submarine. Oh man, this has to take the cake as one of the dumbest, most dangerous hobbies. You're sitting there with millions in the bank, and you think, let's visit the Titanic wreck in a questionable, budget-friendly submarine. It's like paying to get strapped into a death trap. Not only are you risking your life, but you're also essentially turning your millions into a ticket for a once-in-a-lifetime trip you might never return from. A few bad decisions later, and, well, you're the one becoming part of Titanic history. That's the experience of a lifetime. And by experience of a lifetime, I mean literally the last experience you'll ever have. Sure, it might sound like a great story to tell around the dinner table if you come back. Hey, I went down to the Titanic. But the reality is, you might not come back to tell the tale. It's baffling how some rich folks think the more life-threatening, the better the story. The only problem is, if you don't survive, no one's there to share it. Leaves a real impression on folks. It's true, though. Imagine explaining to people why your great-uncle is no longer with you. Oh yeah, he went on this adventure to see the Titanic wreck. People don't even need to say anything. Their faces say it all. Though what were they thinking? Look, they really needed to decompress after that ordeal. I mean, it's one way to decompress. Literally. There's so much pressure involved, pun intended, in these deep-sea explorations. One wrong move, and you're the next victim of a dangerous thrill ride no one asked for. Not sure that's the kind of decompressing experience most people would enjoy. Some people can't handle the pressure. And clearly, that submarine couldn't either. The thing is, these explorations are no joke. There's pressure from every side, both literal and figurative. Rich folks sometimes think their money can buy them a way out of anything. But underwater at those depths, even the wealthiest are at the mercy of nature and science. It blew me out of the water. It's one of those, oh wow, they really did that? Moments. You hear about it, and you almost can't believe that with all their wealth, they chose to risk it in a way that seems so avoidable. What happened to buying a yacht or flying a private jet for adventure? Why go for the thing that might quite literally blow you out of the water? At least they went out with a bang. You can't deny there's a sense of finality to it. It's like one last thrill that didn't go as planned, except this one has no do-overs. A bang, some bubbles, and that's the end of the line. Not exactly the glamorous life rich people envision. And their hearts will go on. Oh, the irony. All that wealth, and you're left with nothing but a tragic ending that echoes the very disaster you went to witness. I guess their hearts do go on, but not in the way they were hoping. These are just a few of the most absurd hobbies of the super rich. From gold-plated food to extreme sports and even eating gold. What's the craziest hobby you've heard of? Let's talk about it in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more jaw-dropping insights into the strange world of the ultra-wealthy. What was the last thing to go through their head? I imagine their last thoughts weren't very pleasant. Maybe this wasn't the best idea. But hey, hindsight is 20/20ths, right? Or maybe it's just too late by then. When you're at the bottom of the ocean, it's not the kind of place where second thoughts do much good. So good you can only do it the one time. Yeah, it's one of those experiences that's asterisk, so asterisk good, you literally don't get a second shot at it. But then again, would you want to? Going once seems risky enough, let alone trying for round 2. Once is more than enough, thank you very much. Once-in-a-lifetime experience? It's the ultimate once-in-a-lifetime deal, because let's face it, you're not coming back for round 2. You can try to prepare, take all the precautions, but deep down, there's that undeniable truth. Some adventures are better left undone. It's the kind of trip that was breathtaking. In every sense of the word, really, it's a breathtaking journey, but not just because of the scenery. The risk involved in these kinds of stunts is what really takes your breath away. And for some, that's the ultimate thrill. Tell your friends and family how great it is before you go. Yeah, that's the key. Make sure you get all the praise and admiration from your friends and family asterisk before asterisk you go, because once you're down there, there's no guarantee you'll be able to share the experience afterward. The experience of a lifetime. Was it worth it, though? Sure, maybe some people thought it would be the story to end all stories. But if it ends your life, well, you're not going to be telling that story, are you? Fly 150 of us out to an island. Talk about a survival adventure. Rich people have some of the strangest ideas about fun. Flying 150 people out to a remote island for some sort of high-stakes game where only the sole survivor makes it home? It's like a reality show gone way too far. With millions at your disposal, you'd think they could come up with something a little more, sane. That'd be fire. Yep, sounds like the perfect setup for a fire festival-level disaster. Rich people think they can pull off wild, risky ideas and walk away unscathed. But sometimes it ends up being a lesson in humility. Or at least a harsh reality check. The crazy thing is that the guy behind it is back. You'd think after one catastrophic failure, people would learn their lesson. But nope. Some folks just can't resist the temptation to try again. This guy is like the poster child for rich people's obsession with risky ventures. It's like they're addicted to the thrill of failure. Rich Arabs cloning camels by the dozen. Now this is a wild one. Rich folks in some parts of the world have taken up cloning camels because they found one that's just that pretty. Imagine having the kind of money where your idea of fun is creating an army of beautiful camels. It's like building the ultimate collection of living luxury items. That's a worthy endeavor. Honestly, though, too many ugly camels roaming around can be a problem. Why not make Earth a prettier place by cloning a few perfect specimens? When you have money to spare, it's all about those small, aesthetic improvements. I'll try not to procreate then. Sometimes, the world has enough chaos without adding more to it. But if cloning camels makes Earth a little more beautiful, maybe it's a worthy pursuit for the ultra-wealthy. Better that than something truly reckless. In some Arab countries, they have camel beauty pageants. And you thought dog shows were fancy. Rich people have found a way to make even camels a competition of beauty. When you're flush with cash, you can turn anything into a spectacle, even something as wild as a camel beauty contest. Run around the city dressed like a bat. I don't know if there's anything that screams rich and bored more than this. Imagine spending your time and money running around like a superhero wannabe. Instead of, solving actual world problems, you're out there pretending to be Batman. And don't get me started on the bat gadgets. You just they've got an entire underground bat cave full of custom toys they spent millions on. It's like, come on, dude. No amount of wealth will make you a superhero. And buying all them bat toys. Oh, let's not forget the toys. What's the point of being a wannabe Batman if you don't have the gadgets, right? Grappling hooks, bat-shaped boomerangs, night vision goggles, the whole 9 yards. They probably even have a Batmobile parked in the garage somewhere. And I bet it's just collecting dust because, let's be real, who needs a crime-fighting car when you've got Uber? Hunt endangered animals. This one just makes me mad. You've got all the money in the world, and instead of using it for something constructive, you decide to hunt creatures that are already on the brink of extinction. It's the kind of rich person hobby that just screams, I have too much time and money and not enough empathy. It's like they can't help themselves. They have to be extra even in destruction. Let's see how they'd like it if someone put them on a list. They should focus on non-endangered species. I mean, not that I'm endorsing hunting at all, but really? Endangered species? It's like saying, hey, let's make this illegal and morally reprehensible activity even worse. With all the options in the world somehow, they land on this. The most dangerous game. Classic. Rich people have always loved this idea of the hunt. The problem is, they take it way too far. Hunting something that can fight back might be more their speed, though we all know they'd still hire someone else to do the dirty work while they sip champagne and watch from afar. The thrill of the chase, or in this case, the thrill of not caring about anything but their own twisted idea of fun. Hunt for rhino horns instead of using Viagra. Oh, it's always about enhancing something that doesn't need enhancing, right? Why go for something as simple as Viagra when you can get your hands on rare and illegal animal parts? It's like, sure, let's destroy nature because I can't get it up. The logic, or lack thereof, is astonishing. These folks should stick to pharmaceuticals and leave the poor rhinos alone. Fox hunting. Fox hunting is probably one of the most bizarrely elitist hobbies that's still around. A bunch of posh people on horses, chasing down a small animal while a pack of dogs does the dirty work. And the worst part is, they think it's some kind of tradition that needs to be preserved. Really? How about we preserve some actual wildlife instead of spending weekends in Tweed, pretending you're in some 19th century novel? Bought a 4chan post for $125,000. Now, this is where things get peak stupid. Buying a post on an internet forum for an astronomical amount of money because... Why? Because you can? It's the ultimate rich flex with zero practical use. Just because you can spend money on something doesn't mean you should. Extreme bathing. Ah yes, nothing says too much money like taking a bath in a golden tub filled with imported water from some exotic location, sprinkled with rare flower petals, and accompanied by hand-poured essential oils that cost more than my monthly rent. It's so over the top, it almost feels like a parody. But no, this is real life for some rich folks. Because who needs a regular bath when you can have one that makes you feel like a god? Oh, steep in the bath. I can almost hear the monster truck announcer voice now. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Be there at the ultimate extreme bath. It's like turning something as relaxing as a bath into a spectacle. And with rich people, the crazier the better. I'm half expecting to hear about luxury bath races next, where they fill tubs with champagne and the winner gets, well, more money. Having sex with children. This isn't even a hobby. It's criminal. Rich or poor, there's no excuse for this, and it sickens me that powerful people sometimes think they can get away with it. The justice system might be a little skewed, but there's no mercy for pedophiles, and that's a universal truth. This just takes rich people's audacity to another level, and it's infuriating. Fundraisers for yacht clubs. Ah, the rich fundraising for themselves. Because apparently, owning a yacht isn't enough. You need a *club* for your yacht and some exclusive events to go with it. It's like an endless loop of rich people congratulating themselves for being rich and throwing money at things that no one else in the world cares about. You could fund, anything else. But sure, let's make sure the yacht club is running smoothly. Buying expensive cars just to keep them in the garage. This one gets me every time. Why buy a multi-million-dollar car and then never drive it? It's like purchasing art you don't even hang up, just keeping it in a vault where no one can see it. Except, in this case, it's a car. They'll have a garage full of these beauties, and they'll just sit there, gathering dust. What a waste of engineering and design. Shaq's Ferrari that he can't even drive. Now this is just hilarious. Shaq, you're 7 feet tall. You you can't fit in that Ferrari. But I get it. Sometimes even the rich don't think things through. The mental image of Shaq trying to fold himself into a Ferrari that's way too small for him is comedic gold. It's like, you had one job. Buying stocks of baby oil. It sounds ridiculous, but honestly, there's probably some rich person out there doing this. Why? Who knows? Maybe it's their idea of a smart investment. Maybe they just really like shiny things. Either way, it's just another example of rich people throwing money at random, unnecessary items for fun. Because when you're loaded, why not? Trying to go to space? This one is the current it thing for the ultra-rich. Forget about buying an island or a sports team, now it's all about space. You can't just fly first class anymore, you have to leave the planet entirely. I mean, it's impressive in a way, but also, really? Space? You're just bored with Earth? Maybe spend some of that fortune fixing problems here before jetting off to the stars. Buying $500 vintage jeans. Ah yes, the allure of vintage. It's like rich people took something that was once affordable and accessible to everyone, slapped a vintage label on it, and suddenly it's worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. You could buy a whole wardrobe for what they're spending on one pair of jeans, but nope, it's all about that vintage label. Buying modern art. Art is subjective, sure, but sometimes modern art feels like the ultimate rich person scam. Spend $50K on something that looks like a 5-year-old painted it? Yep, that's peak wealth. You're not buying the art, you're buying the status that comes with owning something abstract and expensive that no one else gets. Oh, and maybe you're laundering money through it too. Who knows? Art is a tax dodge. The funny thing about modern art is that for some rich folks, it's not about the art at all. It's about avoiding taxes. Start a museum, and suddenly you've got all sorts of deductions. And let's be real, it's not really a museum if it's only open for 2 hours on a random Sunday in spring. It's just another way to flex wealth without paying taxes on it. And buying all them bat toys. You can't just run around like a bat without the proper gear, right? I mean, why be a billionaire if you're not going to waste some of it on custom-made crime-fighting toys? From bat-shaped drones to armor-plated cars that never see a real fight, these folks have it all. But the funniest part? Most of those gadgets probably don't get used. Just sit there collecting dust in their bat cave. Imagine spending millions on stuff that never even leaves your mansion. Hunt endangered animals? This has got to be one of the most infuriating things the super rich do. You've got all the money and resources in the world, and the best you can think to do with it is hunt endangered animals? Really? It's like they're so detached from reality, they forget how precious life is. Instead of enjoying nature and helping conserve it, they're out there putting rare creatures on their wall. The lack of empathy is astounding, and it's all for the sake of a trophy. They should focus on non-endangered species. Exactly. If you're dead set on hunting, at least stick to animals that aren't on the brink of extinction. But of course, that's not enough of a thrill for these folks. They need to take it to the next level, hunting down the rarest of the rare, because that's what makes it exciting. It's like they can't just enjoy anything unless it's destructive. The most dangerous game? You know, some of these rich people think they're living in a real-life version of Asterisk, the most dangerous game Asterisk. They're always chasing bigger thrills, hunting rare animals, maybe even fantasizing about hunting people. It's creepy how far they're willing to go for their next adrenaline rush. They get bored easily, I guess. But come on, isn't there something better to do with all that money? Like maybe save the endangered animals instead of killing them? Sightseeing in a submersible. Another classic example of rich people playing with danger just because they can. Instead of, I don't know, enjoying a luxury yacht like a normal person, they decide to visit the Titanic in a submersible that's barely holding itself together. It's like they're so bored with normal life that they seek out ways to make it as dangerous as possible. What's next? Diving into volcanoes? Everest. Ah, Everest, the peak of luxury suffering. It's not enough to just be rich. You've got to go risk your life by climbing the world's most dangerous mountain. And the kicker? Most of them don't even do it themselves. They hire a team of Sherpas to carry their gear, set up their tents, and basically guide them up the mountain while they struggle for a few hours. It's like buying danger, but with a safety net. The ultimate thrill for the ultra-wealthy. Extreme bathing. Of all the ridiculous hobbies, extreme bathing has to be up there. Imagine soaking in a tub filled with mineral water from some obscure spring in the Alps, with flower petals flown in from halfway around the world, all while someone plays a live harp next to you. Because why not? When you're rich, even something as simple as taking a bath becomes an event that costs more than most people's yearly salary. But hey, at least you'll feel really clean. Monster truck bath commercial. I can totally imagine it now. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday! Don't miss the ultimate bath experience. It's like they've taken the most relaxing thing in the world and turned it into a spectacle. You thought your regular bath was nice? Wait until you try an extreme bath with rare oils and a view of the Eiffel Tower. The whole thing feels like a parody, but for the rich, it's just another Tuesday. Having sex with children? This isn't a hobby, it's criminal. The fact that the wealthy think they can get away with it because of their money is disgusting. There's a special place in hell for people who prey on children, and it doesn't matter how rich or powerful you are. The justice system may be skewed in their favor, but this kind of evil should never be tolerated. Money should never buy this level of impunity, yet here we are. Fundraisers for yacht clubs. I can't believe this is a thing. Imagine being so wealthy that you need to hold fundraisers for your yacht club. Not to feed the hungry, not to save the environment, but to fund your already excessive hobby of owning and maintaining giant boats. It's almost comical. Yacht clubs are already an exclusive playground for the rich, so the idea that they need extra funds is laughable. Maybe they should just sell one of their yachts if they're strapped for cash. Collecting expensive cars and never driving them. This one always gets me. They buy these beautiful, powerful machines, and then nothing. They just sit in a garage, collecting dust. It's like owning a masterpiece and never hanging it up for anyone to see. The whole point of a car is to drive it, but for the ultra-rich, it's just another status symbol. I bet some of them don't even know how to drive half the cars they own. Shaq's Ferrari that he can't drive. Now this is both hilarious and tragic. Shaq, man, you're 7 feet tall. How did you not realize you wouldn't fit in a Ferrari? But honestly, it's such a rich person problem, buying a car just to say you own it, even if you can't use it. It's like buying shoes that are 2 sizes too small because they look cool. Ridiculous, but kind of funny. Buying stocks of baby oil? Why not? If you're rich, might as well corner the market on something as random as baby oil. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe it's an actual investment strategy. Either way, it's such a rich person move, investing in things that most of us wouldn't even think about. Just imagine the conversation. So what's your latest business venture? Oh, baby oil. Trying to go to space. This is the ultimate rich person flex right now. Not only do they want to leave Earth, but they're willing to pay millions for the privilege. Forget fixing problems down here, let's just fly away from it all. Space tourism is the new frontier for the ultra-wealthy, but it's more of the same. Danger, exclusivity, and the chance to do something no one else can afford. Because apparently, *the sky* isn't the limit anymore. Collecting felony convictions. This is disturbingly true. Rich people seem to rack up felonies like trading cards, and yet they never face the same consequences as the rest of us. They commit financial crimes, fraud, and worse, but walk away with a slap on the wrist. Meanwhile, regular folks get locked up for far less. It's a sick system that rewards wealth with leniency. And shooting at pirates? Now this is wild. The idea of rich people paying to shoot at pirates off the coast of Africa? It's like they've turned the high seas into their own personal playground. The ethics are questionable, to say the least, but you can almost see the appeal for those who are always chasing danger. It's messed up, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually tried this. Consume food or drink with gold on or in it. Now this has to be one of the most absurd hobbies ever. Why would anyone eat gold? I get that it's a symbol of wealth, but come on, you're literally eating something with zero nutritional value just to flex. Imagine eating gold while people are struggling to afford basic meals. It's like these rich folks are so bored with normal life that they need to sprinkle gold on their food just to feel special. Honestly, it must be a terrible waste of money. I can't imagine gold even tastes good. But hey, when you're rich, why not? They fly to space in a big penis with a cowboy hat on. Yep, you read that right. We've got billionaires flying into space in phallic-shaped rockets, because apparently that's the height of luxury now. It's not enough to just go to space, you've got to do it in the most ridiculous way possible. And why a cowboy hat? I guess when you have billions, even your space travel needs to have a quirky twist. It's like they're living out a space cowboy fantasy, but for real. This is the kind of hobby that only the ultra-wealthy can dream up. Jumping on stage in front of an orange man. The amount of money these people will throw at trying to look relevant or powerful is astonishing. Jumping on stage in front of the former president to get a few seconds of attention? That's a rich person's hobby for sure. They can't just watch the show. They've got to be part asterisk of the show, even if it makes them look ridiculous. It's like they have to insert themselves into every possible moment of spectacle. Suing people. For the ultra-wealthy, suing people isn't just a way to resolve disputes. It's a hobby. They'll sue you for looking at them the wrong way. It's not about the money, because they have plenty of it. It's about the power trip. Nothing says, "I'm richer than you," like dragging someone through the court system for months or even years, just because you can asterisk. It's almost like a twisted form of entertainment for them. Eat random Walmart shoppers. Okay, this one is a bit out there, but with some of the eccentricities we've seen from the rich, who knows what's next? Maybe it's a metaphor for how the rich treat the poor, gobbling them up and spitting them out in a world where money and power dominate. Either way, it's a dark and dystopian thought, one that isn't too far from the truth in some circles. Fox hunting. Fox hunting has been a rich person's hobby for centuries. It's the perfect combination of wealth, tradition, and cruelty. They dress up in their fancy riding gear, mount their expensive horses, and chase down a terrified animal for sport. It's not even about the hunt anymore. It's just a way to flaunt their status and feel superior to everyone else. But in today's world, it's mostly a symbol of the outdated and out-of-touch lifestyles of the ultra-wealthy, buying or creating social media platforms, then driving the worth into the ground. We all know who this one's about. It's incredible how rich people can buy or create social media platforms, only to run them into the ground with poor decisions and massive egos. They think they can control public discourse with their money, but end up turning their platforms into dumpster fires. It's like they can't stand the idea of not being in control, even if it means destroying what they bought in the process. Torture poor people, their employees. Rich people's hobbies aren't always fun and games. Some of them seem to get a kick out of making life miserable for their employees. They'll throw extravagant events, pat themselves on the back for their charity, and then turn around and treat the people who work for them like dirt. It's a cruel power dynamic where the wealthy get to feel superior by keeping others down. It's hard to call it a hobby, but for some, it seems to be their favorite pastime. Climbing Everest. This is another one of those rich person flexes that drives me crazy. They don't actually climb Everest. They hire Sherpas to carry their gear and essentially walk them up the mountain. They risk very little while putting others' lives in danger just for the bragging rights of saying they reached the top. It's like they can't just enjoy life's beauty. They have to conquer it, even if it means paying for someone else to do the hard work. Collecting rare antiques. From taxidermy to bizarre art, the rich love collecting odd things that nobody else wants or can afford. It's not just about having cool stuff, it's about having rare stuff. They'll pay millions for something that sits in a corner of their mansion, barely appreciated, except for the fact that it's rare and expensive. It's the ultimate in consumerism, buying things not for enjoyment, but to show off. Owning exotic pets. Because apparently, normal pets like cats and dogs aren't good enough. Rich people need miniature pigs, rare birds, or even big cats as pets to feel special. It's not just about having a pet. It's about having one that's unique and unattainable for most people. And of course, there's the irony of owning something wild and free, only to cage it up in a gilded prison. Extreme sports like heli-skiing or underwater diving with sharks. When you've done it all, what's left but to throw yourself into danger for fun? Heli-skiing, diving with sharks, climbing deadly peaks. It's all part of the rich person's desire to chase thrills that most of us can't afford. It's not about the sport, it's about the danger. They pay for their adrenaline rush, but they always have a safety net that most of us don't. Because in the end, money can buy almost everything, except invincibility. Bespoke experiences like space tourism or private island rentals. Space tourism, the ultimate way to show off just how wealthy you are. It's not enough to vacation on Earth anymore. The rich have to rent out entire islands or fly into space to feel like they've done something special. They want to experience things that nobody else can, just because they can. It's all about exclusivity, about being able to say, I did something you'll never be able to do. Luxury car, racing for fun, not competition. While some people use cars to get from point A to point B, the rich use them to race around in circles just for fun. It's not even about the competition. It's about the thrill of driving expensive, fast cars in a controlled, luxurious environment. They have garages full of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Bugattis that never see the open road because, for them, the fun is in showing off, not in driving.